This might be a little hard to believe, but I actually think quite often. And naturally, whenever I think of something interesting, my next thought is, that's content right there. So here are just a couple of those thoughts that I've written down. Number 2. All right, so if you have 1-ply toilet paper, what are you doing? This shouldn't even be something that's allowed to be on the market. 1-ply toilet paper is a sin. I mean, seriously, at that point, you're just using your hand, and you have to roll it up so much just to get something usable. And 2-ply isn't really much better. I think that the sweet spot is 3 and 4. That's when you have something that's not too thick, not too thin. It's very usable. It's perfect. And then once you start getting to like 5, 6, you're just using paper towels at that point. Like anything apart from 3 and 4 is ridiculous. Number 3. I hate it when a substitute teacher is really strict. So the other day I had a sub for my AP Spanish class, and she was very like insistent about us not using our phones. And it's like, I feel bad for subs. Like, people don't really listen to them. But at the same time, I don't really have incentive to listen to the sub. Like, I met you 5 minutes ago, and now you're like, expect me to listen to you? No thanks. I'll pass on that one. Number 4. I have a lot of respect for diabetics. So I go to Mexico every summer and every winter to visit my dad and my grandma. I love Mexican food. It is genuinely like the best food ever, and I'm always on vacation when I go there, so I'm always eating so much sugar. And it got to the point where my grandma, like, she was worried that my blood sugar was gonna get really high. So she took out like one of those tests where they like poke your finger for blood, and she made me do those like 3 days in a row. There's always this moment of anticipation, and then like it pokes you, and it does hurt a little bit, dude. I can't imagine having to do that every single day. Number 5. While we're on this topic of Mexico, while I'm in Mexico, I watch a lot more cable TV. There's one channel that I like called Tooncast, and it just streams a bunch of old cartoons like the Flintstones, the Jetsons, Top Cat, but it has one feature that is absolutely genius. It's called Cartoons, and it's this like small segment that they have, and it's essentially comic strips but in animated version. It's just like one joke, and seriously, it is genius. I would love to see that be like a more mainstream thing, taking characters from like cartoons or even like live action stuff and just having them do like one punchline, 6 through 14. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit of like a speed round here. Okay, first, my accent is basically just like the default American. And sometimes I kind of wish that I had a more interesting accent. There's this YouTuber, Arch, that he makes great videos, and his accent is like, it's wonderful. It's amazing. It's so satisfying to hear.
There are so many different kind of shotgun shells that at this point, it's not even funny anymore.
But at the same time, I think as far as accents go, mine isn't that bad. There's some that are way worse that people make fun of. My accent's all right. Next one. I hate it when somebody like has a joke and it's like a good joke, and it's like, man, I wish I could do that joke, but I can't because it's their joke. All right, next one. I don't think I'm gonna get away with this one, man. It's like, imagine if Squid Game characters in the English dub had Asian accents. Oh no, you kill him. Why you kill him? Can't do an Asian accent, bro. This is so stupid. Okay, this next one. So I wrote down, and I need you guys to stick with me for this whole thought. Black people. Black people are intimidating because they're just cool. I mean, you guys know me. You guys know that I'm not a cool person. And I think that I wrote down specifically black people because I feel like basically every single black person I've ever met or ever like seen is just really cool. But I think it's just like when I'm around cool people or like older teenagers or like even kids that are my age, I just get intimidated. And I don't know why I wrote down black people specifically. I don't know if is that racist? Is that racist to call black people cool? No, right? Because it's a compliment. I don't know, man. I don't know how that one's gonna land. All right, next one. What I do with these is I like write them down either in this notebook or in my notes app. And so I just wrote down, I'm never doing drugs, but it would give me interesting stories. What does that mean? To a certain degree, like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, it might give me, like, an interesting story or two, but, like, there's nothing really interesting about, like, yeah, I smoke weed, right? No, that's just stupid. Like, genuinely, I never want to do drugs. I don't want to do it, like, even once. Like, I don't want to get hooked. And then maybe one drug is a gateway drug for another drug, and it's just all bad. And it's a very easy way to ruin your life. Like, you only get one try at life, and I don't want to throw it away by becoming a drug user. Next one's a little more lighthearted, don't worry. I make very stupid faces. Like really, go to any video of mine, pause it at any frame, and I guarantee you that it's going to be a stupid face. And now that's a little more understandable, right? Like it's, you know, like when people are talking, they like move their mouths in funny shapes or whatever. But I feel like just in general, like I'll catch myself just making like the stupidest facial expression that you've ever seen. And I think I got it from my dad because his are even worse, dude. All right, this next one needs a little bit of context. So I have ADHD. I have inattentive type, which means that it's just harder for me to control my focus. And for the most part, I'm proud of having ADHD. I think that it's, you know, adds to my character. But there's some people, some TikToks that have come across of people talking about like ADHD. And I'm not even gonna lie, it's so cringe, dude. I saw this one video that's like, things that ADHD people do. And of course he had this like little thing that he was fidgeting with because he's ADHD. That's like his whole internet persona. So he has to be fidgeting with something because that's what ADHD people do. And then he goes, we will greet our friends with random noises. And he puts emphasis on random. I feel like that's something that's really common with people who make ADHD like their entire personality. They're like so proud of how like random and quirky they are. And not that it's a bad thing to, you know, to be random, but it's just like, oh, that was just so random, wasn't it?
Among Us. Why did I just say that so randomly? Oh, I just can't help it.
I don't know, like it just feels so forced. You know, like it feels like they center their entire personality around the fact that they're quirky and random. And again, it's not a bad thing. I know people, you know, who are like kind of similar to this. They do make like random noises and stuff, but like they don't make that their whole personality. I don't know, it just rubs me the wrong way. I don't know. I'm just complaining here. Do whatever makes you happy, man. I don't know, who am I to judge? And that's gonna be it for the speed round.
Number 15.
So in the last couple of months, I've been getting into graffiti as an art form. And I want to specify that because I haven't and probably won't ever like actually go out and like spray paint stuff. I don't got the balls to do that, dude. But I just think that like as an art form, it's so cool. There's so many different styles. It's so like accessible. I don't need to go to a museum. I just gotta like walk over to that bridge. There's a couple spots near my house. I've learned from like watching graffiti YouTube videos that those are called chill spots. And it's just like places where people like take their time to do graffiti, do like bigger, more intricate pieces. And I like want to go there and just like take photos of everything. Now, I will say, obviously, I don't endorse vandalism, but at the same time, it's like, it's given me a new perspective on graffiti after like hearing it from the inside view. You know, like at the end of the day, they're just artists. They just want to go out and express themselves.
Number 16.
How did Romeo and Juliet become so popular? So this is the story in the simplest form. We start out with Romeo, who's heartbroken because a girl that he liked rejected him. Then he learns that there's gonna be this party and that the girl that rejected him might be there. So he decides to go. At this party, Romeo, who's 18, meets Juliet, it was 13 or 14, I can't remember, but the age gap is pretty big. It's this whole like love at first sight thing. But Romeo and Juliet's families, they hate each other. At some point, there's a skerfuffle, and Romeo ends up killing Juliet's cousin, and then someone kills Romeo's friend, and then there's the big finale. Juliet fakes her death. Romeo comes over there, sees that Juliet is dead, stabs himself. Then Juliet wakes up, sees that Romeo's dead, stabs herself. And just keep in mind that they've only known each other for 1 week. I don't understand why every single English teacher praises this as if it's some like great work of art. No, it's essentially a story about pedophilia and suicide, and somehow this is what's like preserved from all those years ago.
Number 17.
All right, this last one is an idea that I genuinely think has so much potential. It is genuinely one of the best ideas I've ever had. So the other day, I was visiting my grandma at her nursing home, and then we were gonna go drop her off for dinner, and she goes and she sits down at the seat where she usually sits out. But then some other woman goes, "You can't sit there. That's BJ's seat." And then my grandma's like, "What? But I sit here every day." And then like the other people from the table were like, "Oh no, it's okay. He can sit over there or something." But this woman was insistent. She was like, "No, that's BJ's seat." And eventually she just like got up and just like walked over to a different table. And I don't think that table even had any extra seats for BJ. Like BJ is the real victim in all of this, man. He now has nowhere to sit. And as I was witnessing all this, I thought thought, someone needs to make a reality TV show that takes place in a nursing home. That would be amazing. I would love to watch that, man. Like, just imagine you have a cast of like 20 to 25 elderly people. They each have their own like distinguished personalities. And then you just put them in the nursing home, give them all like little clip-on microphones, put cameras all over the place, and then just make that a reality TV show. That would go crazy. So that's all I have for today. If you guys like this type of video, please let me know, because I write down so many of these. This could be a series. And at the same time, I've been meaning to make a channel, essentially just posting each individual thought, like as its own like short. So yeah, let me know if you guys want more of this, or if you guys want that channel. Yeah, I don't know how to end this video. That's it. That's the video. Just go watch another one of my videos. Go, bye.